Okay. Hello. Okay, so we're gonna be reporting. I'm a reporter now. A minute. Ow. Miss. Oh, you're talking. Let's find someone to report on. Do you have anything to say about school? I mean, this church, sir. Sir, do you have anything to say about this church? Okay. I'm a reporter. Okay. Sir, do you have anything to say about this church? No. Well, I gotta go, guys. Because there's. Wait, I'm not posting this. Even though I'm live.
How are you guys doing? What do you want to say this morning? How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Awesome. It's good to see you guys. My name
I'm
is
losing my voice though.
I'm glad that you guys are here. So today, my friend Maddie is the one who's going to be teaching us the lesson. But before we do that, I want to pray for you guys. Before I pray, I want to remind you about our Wednesday night services. So Wednesdays we have what is called Impact, which is our student nights, 6:30 for middle school, 7:30 for high school. So if you guys haven't been a part of that before, you're welcome to come. We would love to see you guys there. So let me pray for you guys, and then we'll have Maddie come and teach some lessons. So bow your heads, close your eyes. Let's pray. Father God, I thank you because you are good. I pray for the students that they will listen to your voice clearly through what Maddie has to say. I thank you because you're good and we can always rely on your promises. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen and amen. Come on, give it up for Maddie.
Betty! By the way, I'm live.
Okay, hey guys, how are y'all?
Good.
Good. Love it. So, if y'all were here last week, you heard Tyler talk to y'all and tell y'all the story of Noah's Ark, right? Does everyone kind of know the story of Noah's Ark? No. That's okay. Figure it out. Read it in a book called the Bible. So this week, we're going to be talking about a man named Abram, or Abraham. Has anyone ever heard the name Abraham in the Bible? Yeah, used like a couple times here and there. So we're going to be talking about a story of inheritance. Does anyone know what the word inheritance means? Yeah. And an inheritance is it's what you receive from your ancestors. So it can be like gifts, it can be land, it can be money, it can be like a title. So like if the king died and he had a prince, his prince would become king. So he would like receive that title. So when I was growing up, my grandma was like my best friend. She helped raise me. And then when I was 13, she passed away super unexpectedly. So you can imagine that was kind of like a really rough time for me. But as I got older, I was able to look back and see all of the super cool things I got to take away from my time with her. So I got to inherit some really good life advice. I got to learn about really cool stories of Jesus from her. She taught me how to love others really, really, really well. But for me, like the coolest thing I could have inherited from her when I was 13 was I got to inherit her wedding band from my grandfather. And at that time, that was like the coolest thing I could have possibly thought of. But as I started reading this book on Abraham and his life and the cool things that Jesus did for him, I realized that that's not the coolest inheritance I could ever receive. So just a little bit of background throughout the Bible is also known as Abram, and his wife, Sarah, is also there. So this story that we're going to be learning about takes place when Abraham is 70. It starts from his like 70s and goes into like his hundreds, which is wild to me. But Abram's story starts in Genesis. So Genesis 12 says, "Now the Lord said to Abram, go from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land that I will show you. And I will make of you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great, so that you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and who dishonor honors you, I will curse. And in you, all the families of the earth shall be blessed. That's a lot.
What page are we on?
It's like this big. It's not very good. So let's pause for a second. At 75, the Lord came to Abram and was like, hey dude, pack up some things, hit the road. I'm not going to tell you where, but you got to leave. How many of y'all would actually do something like that? Maybe one. I feel like if it were to like come down to it and I was like, yeah, I'll do that, the day would come and my parents would be like, see ya, have fun, and I would probably start crying, and then it'd be really embarrassing, and then I'd end up staying, and that was bad. But at that time, like, Abram was like, all right, cool, and packed up his stuff and left. He did that because the Lord told him that he was going to use his name and use him to create a nation that was going to bless nations ahead of him. So this shows us, one, how badly God really wants to know us, because he's willing to throw one person there to create a whole nation just so we can know him. And two, I don't know if y'all read that up there, but it says, whoever curses you, I will curse. God is some ride or die friend, let me tell you. If I had a friend like that in like middle school or high school, I probably, one, would have been a lot rowdier. And two, I probably would have been a lot less afraid of people if I had like somebody like that on my back who's like, curse me, I curse you. Like, you curse my friend, I got you. I probably would have been a lot cooler. And I wasn't, and so here I am now. So Abram listens to the Lord and dips. He's like, cool, I hear you. See you later. So he takes his wife and his nephew and like a couple of people that work with him and his livestock, and he leaves like his entire family that he's grown up with for 75 years. And the Lord didn't tell her to go. He just said, I'll show you later. So he packs up and he leaves. And after a while, he kind of starts to get suspicious because he's like, okay, God, you told me I'm going to have this great nation of people, but like, I'm 75 and I don't have a kid. I don't have anyone to give my inheritance to. If anything, like the heir to all of my stuff is maybe going to be my servant. And as he's questioning, the Lord answered him and said, go outside, look up at the sky and count the stars. If indeed you can count them, so shall your offspring be. And Abram believed him. So he went from having like 0 offspring, 0 heirs, like no one else that will inherit anything from him, to having like billions of people to be responsible for, like mentally. That's like 0 to 100, like real fast, right? And instead of being freaked out, like I probably would have peed my pants, I'm not gonna lie, if the Lord was like, hey, you're having so much fun, just living life, you and your wife, no kids, well, you're about to be responsible for like billions of people. I probably would have cried. But instead of being nervous and freaked out, Abram's response was like, heck yes, I believe you, you're right, you're gonna make good on this promise. So cool. So as God reminded him of this promise, he started to think about it and was like, okay, all the stars in the sky, that's a lot of stars, that's a lot of people. So if I'm gonna have a nation, don't I need land? So he kind of started questioning God, like, okay, you told me to go and I went and you said I'm gonna have a buttload of people to be responsible for, and I don't, but I believe that you're gonna make good on that, but I don't have a place to put anyone. And so as he was questioning him about land, the Lord told him to sacrifice a cow, a goat, and a ram. So Abram cut them in half and laid their pieces side by side to sacrifice. After he had done that, the Lord sent Abram into a deep sleep. And as Abram was sleeping, a smoking fire pot and a flaming torch passed through the pieces of the sacrifice. And the Lord created a covenant with Abram that night, saying, to your offspring, I. So this land was a bunch of land. It was like enough land probably for an entire country. Like that's the amount of land that the Lord had promised Abram's people. So he woke up. I would say I'd be a little freaked out. I'd be like, okay, I got billions of people. Now the Lord has promised me like a country of land. It's interesting. Does anyone know what a covenant is?
No.
No.
Is it like a country?
A covenant is like an agreement. Who said that? Yeah. So it's like an agreement or a promise. And normally, during Abram's time, a covenant had a lot of rituals that followed up with it. So normally in a covenant, both parties, so say like Jesus and Abraham, both of them were supposed to walk through those sacrificial pieces. But instead, the Lord sent Abram into a deep sleep and passed through those sacrifices by himself. He did this to show Abram that even if Abram or his offsprings couldn't uphold the promises that they had made, that the Lord was going to uphold his promise regardless, to make a great nation out of him and to bless everyone through him. Can y'all imagine, like, you make a promise to your friend and then they back out of the promise? Would you still fulfill your side of the promise? Or would you be like, that's not worth it? If you and your friend made a promise and your friend dipped, would you still fulfill that? Would you keep up your side of the promise? Would it be worth it for you? What about your end of the promise?
I won't eat that ice cream that she eats. I'll eat the ice cream. It's delicious.
Yeah, but that's not your end of the promise. So, can you imagine how much you would have to love someone to keep up a promise that they broke? That's a lot. But the Lord was so willing to do that because he wanted everyone to know his name and to be able to come to know who he was so that we could spend eternity with him. So Abraham wakes up after this, and like 35 years later, is kind of still sitting there. He's like 100 at this point in time. Still doesn't have kids. At that point, Sarah, his wife, Abram at 100, Sarah at like 90, they have a kid. Can you imagine a 100-year-old man having an infant, like a newborn? That would be crazy. It'd be like, I just picture like Santa. Like, sweet old man, Santa, like walking around with a newborn baby. Like, that's his kid. Kind of like this. Like, they're super old. Straight up just had a kid. So the Lord tells Abraham and Sarah to name their son Isaac. The name Isaac means meant to laugh, which I think is kind of funny. It's like a little fun fact. Because could you imagine a 90-year-old woman having a baby and like the reaction of the people around her at 90 years old having a baby? I feel like people were for sure laughing. And on top of that, when the Lord told Sarah that she was going to have a baby at 90, like 35 years ago, she laughed at him. And she was like, okay, Jesus, see you in 35 years. I still won't have a baby. And here she is, 35 years later, with a kid. So Isaac meant, now that Isaac was born, that meant that Abram had an offspring, and Abram had an heir to his inheritance. So not only did Abraham have someone to give everything to, and not only did Isaac get to reap the benefits of all the land his dad had, all the cattle and cows and lambs and goats and chickens and all of this livestock that his dad had, but he also got to inherit the covenant that the Lord had made previously with his father. Let that sink in. So this baby, this kid who was born, who had nothing to do with the covenant that his dad made, was now getting to sit and rest in the knowledge that he was about to have all this land. And when I think about it, I kind of think about this video. Like, I imagine, this is kind of what I imagine. Like the conversation.
Everything the light touches is our kingdom. A king's time as ruler rises and falls like the sun. One day, Simba, the sun will set up my time here and will rise with you as the new king.
Can this world be mine?
Everything.
So I kind of imagine that conversation between Abraham and Isaac going a little something like that. Like Abraham taking his son down to like the edge of like a cliff and being like, this is all yours. And he's like, okay, cool, Dad. Thanks. Wow, that's cool. But he really has no idea at that point.
I love Simba.
I do too. So it's a lot. So he got to inherit all of those promises. He got to inherit all of the land the Lord promised to Abraham. He got to inherit the fact that a group and a nation of people
Oh, yeah.
born out of this one family. So this story is really cool and has a lot of interesting details in it. And I encourage all of y'all to go read through Genesis and the book of Abraham. But I'm sure some of y'all are sitting here thinking, like, okay, it sounds kind of cool, but what the heck does a promise that some random dude I'll never meet that made a promise thousands of years ago, like, what does that have to do with me? Like, why does that matter to me? When in reality, like, this has everything to do with who you are today. We're told over and over and over again about faith in the Bible, right? To have faith in the Lord, to have faith in his promises, to have faith to follow him. And to have faith in something is to trust in something, like fully, even if you don't know what it is. So over and over in the Bible, we see the Lord asking us to trust him, to trust that he sent his one and only son down on earth for us, to trust that he was crucified and rose again, to trust that he did that for our sins so that we could be in heaven with him for eternity. Like, we have to trust that he loved us enough to do all of those things. But sometimes we forget that when we put our trust in the Lord and allow him to come into our lives, we forget what that actually means. When we allow our trust to be put in Jesus, we kind of forget that we become a part of his chosen people. We become his sons and daughters. We become his family. And if we are in Christ and we are his children, that means we're descendants of Abram. We're Abram's offspring. We're Abram's heir. So in Galatians 35 through 29, it says, now that faith has come, we are no longer under a guardian. For in Christ Jesus, you are all sons of God through faith. There is neither Jew nor Greek. There is neither slave nor free. There is neither male and female. For you are all one in Christ Jesus. So if we're all one in Christ, that proves that means we're the heirs of this huge inheritance that we had nothing to do with. This inheritance that happened thousands of years ago is fulfilled by every single one of you in this room. As you look around, you can literally see, like, this whole entire room is a continued fulfillment of God's promise to Abram, or to Abraham. How crazy is it that the Lord has created each and every one of you as a part of his fulfillment to a promise that he made like thousands of years ago to a man that we've never met, nor will we ever meet. He created us and created this promise so that we would continuously be able to bless people. So as we're sitting here thinking about being chosen people by Christ and being here to bless people and serve people, I want y'all to think about how you can bless others and what it means to be a part of God's family. So we're going to pray really quickly, and then we're going to break into small groups. Dear Father, I just want to thank you so much for allowing this awesome group of students, God, to sit in here and soak in your word, God, to soak in your promises, God, to soak in who they are in you. Father, we're so thankful that you've allowed us to share your word today, God. And we're so thankful that you've created each and every one of us to bring blessings to other people. Father, I pray that these students really soak in the promises that you have for them, God, that you created them to share you with everyone.
He's dancing. He's not allowed to dance in church. Hey guys. Sorry, I had to reconnect. And this is my best friend. Oh yeah, I'm losing my voice.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna stay in this room, but we're going to try our best to create a circle, because I think that's how we.
Miss, what can you say about this?
One another best. So if we want to put our phones away.
I'm alive so people that aren't here can see the church, what's happening in church.
But we do. Well, I'm gonna ask Laura
Oh,
to put our phones
darn.
away so that we don't have that as a distraction.